Hello everyone. Just the one record to show you today, but it's new to the channel. I've never seen one of these before. Um, I caught a glimpse of it on eBay and I snapped it up pretty damn quick because mainly because the front of the sleeve looked so unusual. So before I get into actually looking at the record, I've got a couple of my own from my collection, just for a little bit of compare and contrast. So might help you if you're going to look for one of these, or maybe just add a little bit of interest. So let me just set the camera up for a second and we'll get on with business. So the huge majority of copies of this that you'll see look like this. Mono 60s copies of Help are not very difficult to find. They were pressed in quite large numbers, I think. Saying that, it's difficult, of course, like with all, certainly the early Beatles records, it's difficult to find really nice copies. But yeah, this in and of itself isn't a huge rarity. So, if you've got one of these and it's a decent enough copy, then generally scroll past it. However, as most of you, well, some of you will know if you're watching this, the stereo copies much rarer of all of the first half of the career albums. And so keep an eye out for one of those, because that's going to be quite difficult to find a decent one of these. Saying that though, however, some of the reissues would have looked very, very similar to this. So you need to be careful with that. You need to actually check out the record itself. A lot of the 70s black and silver label 2 EMI box reissues came in sleeves that looked pretty much identical to this. Or that stereo caption, in my experience, might be slightly further down. Or it might not be there at all. It might just be blank. If it's blank, it's always, I think, from my experience, generally going to be a 70s reissue. So then you've got to think about what the record itself looks like. Or in fact, if there are flipbacks at the back. But even then, I think some of the early black and silver label reissues came with flip back sleeves, so it's a little bit of a minefield with the stereo ones, so you need to have a little bit of a think about it if you see these captions here. So let me get on to what it was that actually caught my eye. So this is turned up today. And not only are we going to have a comparison of the sleeve, but we're also going to look at the record itself. So, if you're a casual record collector, then you won't notice a whole lot of difference. But if you're big into your Beatles records collection, then that is going to leap out at you a little bit. It's the stereo caption is in solid black there, which I don't think I've ever seen. So talking about the item itself, the front of the sleeve looks pretty decent. And the spine is nice. As is the back of the sleeve. So hopefully the record is half as good as the sleeve, then I'll be on to a winner. Okay, interesting. I think this is probably an original inner sleeve. It advertises Piper at the Gates of Dawn there. And it's got Sergeant Pepper there. So that's probably gives you some sort of indication of what era this comes from. So let's take a look at the record. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so this actually isn't the record that I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be a yellow and black label. 60s pressing. I think this probably still is a 60s pressing, but maybe from 1969. Okay, very interesting. I'm not terribly disappointed. I'm just a bit caught off guard there. So we've got Matrix YEX 168-1 on side A. And we've got 169-1 on side B. So it's a one label EMI box. One EMI box label. Sorry, it's late. You probably think I'm drunk, but I'm actually not. It's late and I'm tired. So not quite the record I thought it was going to be. I actually thought it was going to be a second stereo pressing, which looks a bit like this. However, it has Times New Roman rather than the sans serif font on the labels. So very interesting. Yeah, I wasn't even aware that this variation of Help actually existed. So very interesting. Let's have a little quick look at the record itself. It looks pretty decent. Not really any damage. The light's not brilliant, but I don't really see any particular signs of use on side A or on side B, really. It's quite a decent copy. Anything else to say about this one? Doesn't have the title of the album on side B, which, let's just check that against. Oh no, it doesn't have it on the first press either. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. So I think that's a nice one box EMI copy with what I take to be the original inner sleeve, and most importantly on this one, I would say, a very, very unusual sleeve variation. It's got the black stereo caption. It's got Garrett and Lofthouse flip back sleeve, and that sleeve is in really nice condition. Ever seen one like that before? Let me know in the comments box if you have. Yeah, nice. Give that a little clean and give it a test drive tomorrow. Hopefully it sounds pretty decent. But that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you again soon. All right, cheers. Goodbye, everybody.